Tyler Reddick got a much-needed win. He has now secured a playoff spot for the year. Pretty excited about that.
That Toyota family aspect, our teammates, everyone at Toyota really makes a big effort to help one another, and they certainly were a large part of why we were able to stay up towards the front. And I know ultimately I'm the only one that leaves with the trophy and the playoff points, but we worked really well together. I'm just very thankful that, Martin was as committed as he was, and Ty was as committed as he was to Martin. That was a very large part of why we were able to stay in the mix.
Alexis, he got help from the remaining Toyotas after their first round of strategy literally blew up in their face.
Yeah, going back and looking at the strategy, though, that they had of short pitting in that final segment, the Toyotas, and hoping to jump everybody, it did work out. It did pay off the way they wanted it to with the Jumpman car in Victory Lane. However, there was a little bit of collateral damage in that with Bubba Wallace and John Hunter Nemechek, Denny Hamlin, and Erik Jones also, getting collected in an incident and not being able to make it to the end of the race. But if you look back at the strategy and what they were trying to do, and yesterday, I feel like the name of the game was strategy, right? That's pretty much how everybody played the race yesterday, was trying to figure out what the best strategy was, to make it to the end. And it worked out for them. And it worked out for the Toyota camp as a whole. Unfortunately, they had a few cars on the rollback, too.
Brad, without that mishap, I felt like maybe Toyota was poised to – they went ahead and won the race with Tyler Reddick winning, but they had a group of four there that looked like they were going to rule the day.
Yeah, hey, look, the good thing about strength in numbers, and we talked a lot about that this year with Toyota adding Legacy Motor Club to their fold. Now they were going to have more cars that were going to be able to draft together at Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta. That's a great thing. The bad thing is when something goes wrong and you're all together, it's going to take out a lot of you. But to Alexa's point, they made up for it. They wound up in victory lane. Tyler Reddick gets a big trophy, and overall a good day for them. And now David Wilson gets to raise a flag in Costa Mesa, California at TRD's headquarters with a Cup Series victory.
Well, enjoy that raising of the flag, David. Of course, Tyler Reddick won in the Jordan brand Toyota with his iconic Jumpman logo on the hood. Extra points, by the way, for Fox reporter Jamie Little for getting Michael Jordan on mic. Michael doesn't do a lot of media at the racetrack. We've never had him on PRN. MRN's never had him on. Sirius has never had him on. So for her to grab him in victory lane and get some audio, way to go, Jamie Little. Let's hear from MJ right now.
We've been working hard trying to get ourselves up to where we can compete against all the top guys in this sport, but we've done a heck of a job just to be where we are, and for us to win a turn and win a game and win a big race like this. I mean, it means so much to me and for the effort that the team has done. And look, I'm all in. I'm all in. I love it. It replaces a lot of the competitiveness that I had in basketball, but this is even worse, because I have no control. If I was playing basketball, I have total control, but I have no control, so I live vicariously through the drivers and all the crew chiefs and everybody. So, I mean, I'm very happy for 23-11, 110%.
I love it in that soundbite there, Brad Gilly, where he goes to win a turn, and he started to say tournament, then he says game, then he backs up and says race. But obviously the first time he's been at the track when one of his cars went to victory lane.
Yeah, which is almost surprising because we got used to seeing him at the track last year during the playoffs, and we saw Tyler Reddick did so well, ended up finishing sixth in the final standings, and, it was really cool, and it was great. That whole moment with Michael Jordan picking up Tyler Reddick's son, Beau, and taking him to victory lane, and you can see the emotion there and everything involved. Winning is a big, big thing, and I think we got to see that. I think we got to see that not just with Tyler Reddick climbing the fence, but with Michael Jordan and just those incredible moments we saw after that victory.
Alexis, maybe I'm overreacting here, but Michael Jordan being on the stage, being accessible, letting Jamie Little interview him, carrying around Tyler Reddick's son, Beau. I don't know that you can measure that, because even if you're not a sports fan, you know who Michael Jordan is. You are aware of him. He may be the most famous athlete alive on the planet today. And for him to do what he did and to be that public, How big do you think that is for the sport of NASCAR?
I think it transcends what we're normally capable of doing. I mean, yesterday I was scrolling through Twitter, and LeVar Burton, reading Rainbow, Star Trek fame, had sent out a tweet. Congratulations to Michael Jordan on your win at Talladega. Doesn't even mention Tyler Reddick. Just congratulations to Michael Jordan on your win. I mean, it does. It transcends what we normally are able to do. And that is huge for NASCAR. Huge, huge, huge. It's funny, though, you say he's the most recognizable athlete. He is, absolutely. But some people only know him as the sneaker Michael Jordan. Beau Reddick. It was funny because Tyler had joked in the media availability afterwards that he's pretty sure Beau only knows him as the sneaker guy. The guy that has the sneaker company. He doesn't really know all of the greatness that is Michael Jordan, the athlete. So he's going to have forever a memory of pictures and videos of them in Victory Lane. Brad had mentioned it. He's going to have the coolest show and tell from here on out. For sure.
Nobody beats that. Brad, following up on what Alexis and I were just chatting about, how does NASCAR take advantage of this? You've got Michael Jordan, like we said. I don't know that there's a more recognizable athlete anywhere on planet Earth endorsing your sport, saying, I'm all in, I love this, I care about it. Is there anything that NASCAR can do besides just organically let this flow?
Yeah, I think so, because you have a couple of things. You've already had a Jordan brand car win. Kurt Busch did that in Kansas. And you've already had 2311 Racing win. Kurt Busch, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick have gone to Victory Lane. But the one thing that you've never had images of is Michael Jordan himself celebrating in Victory Lane. And now you have that. And that is one of those images where if you are the PR department, you need to be pushing out everywhere. That needs to become your highlight. I was watching the broadcast yesterday, and they're going through what are the NASCAR hype videos and this and that. Well, they already have the highlight of the Atlanta 3-wide finish in there. I would fully expect that this weekend at Dover, if you're watching while listening to PRN, you're probably going to see Michael Jordan Victory Lane now. If not, I think they're, for lack of a better term, dropping the ball.
Very good. Don't want to miss that opportunity. I was really tickled. I was watching the end of the race. They were done at the racetrack. They'd gone to the studio part of the show. Shannon Spake and David Reagan and whoever else was back in the studio. And then all of a sudden, I'm just thinking, well, wow, I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get to hear from Michael Jordan. And that's a shame because he's there. We've all seen him. And then Spake throws it back to Jamie Little in Victory Lane, and there she is talking to MJ. The payoff on that was tremendous.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was kind of funny because he joked a little bit about how, there had been some rumblings in amongst the team that he might even be bad luck because the races that he had gone to, they were never able to pull it off. And then later in his media availability, Tyler Reddick said, well, maybe it's because I didn't know he was here until the race was over. And they had that big celebration in Victory Lane. But you're right, Doug. I mean, anybody who is anybody knows Michael Jordan for who he is and what he represents, and to be able to get that soundbite. Congrats to Jamie Little for having the wherewithal to go up to him and ask, and just a great soundbite for NASCAR to have and for us to be able to use going forward. And I hope, and I don't think it will be, I hope that it's not the last time that happens, that we're able to see that.
Brad, you're right, though. In thinking about that, you've got the 3-wide finish at Atlanta this year that's going to be a part of NASCAR lore. And so far this season, you can tag this onto there. NASCAR's already gained 2 highlights that are going to be put in the NASCAR time capsule.
Yeah, there's no question. Look, how many times have we seen the fight after the 1979 Daytona 500, or we saw Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch battling to the finish line at Darlington. And to your point, we've got that great 3-wide finish in Atlanta and so many more numerous highlights throughout the decades of NASCAR. Don't get me wrong, these are just some of the ones that we see all the time. I have a feeling this one's probably going to be a little more of a permanent fixture. But like Alexis said, hey, look, is Michael Jordan going to be up at Dover with us this upcoming weekend? Is he going to go to Kansas or Darlington or the All-Star race or the Coca-Cola 600? I hope he's at all of them. He did go to a lot of races last year. They just didn't put it through all the way to Victory Lane. Well, maybe now this becomes a regular thing as well.
You got to think that getting to victory lane, as he said, this sport fuels his competitive spirit. If he feels like he can get there again, he's going to be there. Brad mentioned it. He was at every single race in the playoffs last year, and that really surprised me. Not because I didn't think that he was all in. I knew that he was all in, but he's also a very big, guy in his Jordan brand business. He has a lot of other things going on. And so for him to feel like, 23XI and NASCAR as a whole are as important as they are, for him to get to as many races as he can, that speaks volumes, because he has got a ton of other things going on.
And NASCAR has seen a lot of other athletes come in and dabble and try to own teams, and they might hang around a year or so and then they're gone.
Right.
Joe Gibbs is the only other one that I think of to mind that came from another sport, committed to this. Now he's winning championships and has arguably one of the top two teams in the business. So kudos to Michael for not folding on this and for sticking it out. And I think the benefits for NASCAR are unmeasurable.